Hello, and welcome to
Muppet 8 Month.
This is a monthly series that we do every month.
That is what monthly means, yeah. This is a monthly series where we watch a different Muppet film every single month, and then we review it and we tell you what we think. This month, we have the Muppets Take Manhattan, which is the third of the classic Muppet films. And I don't actually know a whole lot about this one, except for, obviously they go to Manhattan. But also, apparently this is the movie that started the Muppet Babies trend.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, is this where the Muppet Babies came from?
Yes, this is where the Muppet Babies came from.
Exciting. I know that it came. I know that the Muppet Babies came from a Muppet movie, but I didn't know which one.
Yeah.
Also, I'm very intrigued to find out how it's actually incorporated into the plot.
I'm also, since we don't know anything about this movie, I'm intrigued on how the plot's gonna be, like what type of genre, because we just watched the Muppet Great Caper, which was kind of like a mystery film.
Yeah.
And then, the original Muppets film is technically a road trip movie. But I'm wondering what type of movie this is gonna be. I guess we're just gonna have to find out. Don't let me airball that. Please don't let me airball that, please. I'm gonna jump off a 20-story building.
Yeah,
Editor, insert the clip of Kermit the Frog falling off of the building. And now, without further ado, let's get to watching the movie.
One movie watch later.
Yeah. Okay, we are done watching Muppets Take Manhattan. Do we want to drop our numbers?
Yeah, let's start with our ratings.
10.
This is out of 10, right? Yeah. You ready?
Yes.
Okay.
We do decimal.
Yeah, we can do decimal.
Okay.
Yeah. 3, 2, 1.
8.9.
Really?
Okay, so I was thinking around the 8 area, but then I also know that we have the newer Muppet movies to come. But honestly, I might move mine up to an 8. I think 8's fair. I think I'm gonna do 8, changing mine up 7.5 to 8. Because honestly, this is a really, really good movie. The reason why I'm not giving a 9 or 10 is because I know what's to come for the Muppets. I know this is really good, but I've had more fun watching Muppets 2011, the ones that we're gonna watch later. So my main thing with this one is, one, I mentioned this while we were watching it, but it doesn't feel like this is one of the first movies we've watched going in order from the original, where they branched away from us watching the Muppets try to make the movie. The movie is the Muppets trying to make a Broadway show. Yeah. But instead of it being this is the Muppets trying to make a Broadway show and you're gonna watch the Broadway show at the same time, it's just no. We're focused on one story. That was my big thing with the Great Muppet Caper, was they were trying to mix the story of the Muppets making the movie and the actual movie itself that they were making, and then it got so confusing. But this one was just the Muppets were trying to make a Broadway show, and it was very direct. It was very fun. A big thing that we mentioned last time was the Great Muppet Caper. I highly, highly, highly recommend watching that video before you watch this one, because I'm going to reference it a lot. This is very, this style of movie is very similar to the Great Muppet Caper in the way that it's not as well known as the original Muppet movie or the later Muppet movies, but it's in that sweet spot where no one, it's known, but it's not too known. Yeah. I think a big thing that contrasted this one from the other one was that it knew what it wanted to be. The last one felt very confusing, and we mentioned that in the previous video, where we didn't know what they wanted to do. We didn't know whether it wanted to be a making the movie kind of scenario, or this is the dumb movie that they're making. But in this one, it's the Muppets are going all over the place trying to find out how to make a Broadway production. And also, a big thing that I really, really, really liked about this one is that they made it serious. And I think a big reason why they made it very serious is because it's the first time the Muppets really went into the real world, going into New York and Manhattan. And the Muppets, Joy and Whimsy, gets lost once they handle rejection and exposure to the real world. It kind of the drastic shift from original Muppet movie and the Great Muppet Caper, where it's just oh, we're having a jolly good time, and there's issues, but we solve them because everything's amazing because we're making the movie, to we want this to happen but we can't, so now we have to separate and we have to live lives that we don't want to because that's what life is. Whoa, the Muppets, yeah. The Muppets got deep. But honestly, that was a great choice because it's different, and that's a big reason why I really like this movie compared to the other ones that we watched, because it's a new approach to the Muppets. A big thing that we mentioned again in the Great Muppet Caper was that the plot was very predictable. We like could like see all the characters, and then we're like, yep, this guy's the bad guy. This is gonna happen to like this person, right? But it was a roller coaster of a ride watching this movie. Big spoiler alert if you're gonna watch this movie. I highly recommend watching this one because, again, I think it's a really good movie.
Yeah, it's actually like really good.
But yeah, spoiler alert: Kermit gets ran over by a car.
Yeah, I did not see that coming. He's like walking down the street and he just gets ran over.
And it's right after like the climax of the movie too. Like the whole movie is building up to them trying to get a Broadway like producer to get them a show, and then he meets the Broadway producer, and the producer's like, "Yes, we would love for you to be in our movie." And he's like, "Great," and then he leaves and he gets ran over by a car. Kermit, look out! And then we're like, oh, like, you know, it's the Muppets. He'll probably like recover and like, you know, it probably like will connect them closer. But instead, he gets amnesia and forgets who he is, and it actually separates him even further from them. And then they have to make him remember who he is in order to connect back with them. Crazy watch. I give it an 8 because it deserves all the 8 points that it got, but it hasn't really reached like 10. I think 10 is a very hard point to reach.
Oh yeah.
But it's still like a very good movie. You can tell that a lot of thought was put into it, and that it's, you know, just genuinely very well made. So yeah, that's why I gave it an 8.
Honestly, this, out of the movies we watched, might be my new favorite Muppet movie. I might like it more than the original.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Because while I do love Jim Henson, I feel like Frank Oz's style of directing, where the story is a story and you aren't reminded that it's a movie constantly, I liked that a lot.
Yeah, Statler and Waldorf. The whole joking point about them is that they're like, oh, this movie sucks, Lamau. But like, when we first saw them, they didn't say a single word.
They just sat there and they just panned.
They were sunbathing.
Not gonna say it.
And then I joked about this with Chris. I was like, maybe they're sunbathing because for the first time, they're not, we are not seeing them making this movie. It's just an actual story that we're following. So they have nothing to heckle because, a story's being made. We're not seeing the Muppets trying to make the movie. The movie's being shown right in front of us.
It's a movie.
So they have nothing to heckle about. When later they heckle and,
But they heckle about the show in the movie. So like, they don't even heckle about the movie. They just say that, what did they say?
They heckle about Kermit and Miss Piggy.
And Miss Piggy.
Hey, look, Waldorf. The frog and the pig.
Yeah, looks like they're in love.
Yeah.
Kind of makes you sick, doesn't it?
Whoa! Hey, lovey-dovey.
I'm sorry, I know.
Statler and Waldorf, the goats.
And then the other one was
They're I got two tickets to the best. What is it?
Well, Waldorf, they finally made it to Broadway.
Yeah, and I already got tickets.
You did? Are they good seats?
They sure are. They're for the next train out of town.
I mean, I love the Muppets and I love the referential humor and I love the fact that they're aware that they're in a movie. But there's something so charming about being able to see them just be in a movie. And I feel like you're allowed to have, like, if Statler and Waldorf pointed out the fact that they were in a movie, I'd be okay with that. Because they're two characters who aren't the main characters.
Yeah.
Like, in The Great Muppet Caper, there's a scene, I think that we referenced it in the review, where Kermit, the actor, crashes out on Piggy, the actor, for saying her lines wrong. And it's like, you totally pulled me out of the story. I'm not invested anymore. But in this movie, he crashes out on her, but it's not Kermit, the actor, it's Kermit, the character. Because Kermit, the actor, doesn't exist. It's just Kermit the Frog, the character. And I feel like I vibe with the Muppets more if they don't know that they're in a movie. I think the main point that we're trying to make here is this is way better than The Great Muppet Caper.
This is way better than The Great Muppet Caper. And Kermit Swamp.
And Kermit Swamp. There's not a whole lot that's worse than Kermit Swamp Years, I can tell you that.
I know one thing we did was like, if you're trying to get the Muppet experience, should you watch this movie? I think you should.
I think you should too. I think that you can watch the original and this one and say that you've watched the classic films, because Great Muppet Caper is not...
No. The Great Muppet Caper was trying something and it did not land.
Yeah.
And I'm really disappointed it's not like out there just for like in the mainstream.
Yeah, it's not on Disney Plus, which is
it's not on
really
Disney
weird.
Plus.
It's hard to get a hold of. We're not going to tell you how we got a hold of it because we don't want to out the website that we use.
We actually got it from
But yeah, if you want the address, it's and then we're also going to censor this part. Editor, don't include this so I don't sound like an idiot.
Oh my god! Whoa!
Bert Dirty! Are the
Look at Oscar! Or not Oscar, Grover and Cookie Monster and the Count.
One more thing before I go. Rizzo had a much bigger part in this film, which I'm very happy about, but we still haven't been introduced to Pepe Le Peon. Pepe Le Peon has not been introduced yet. I want to make that very apparent. We haven't gotten to the peak of Muppets because Pepe Le Peon is not here. Editor, cut that part out. We will see you all next month. I hope you enjoyed this episode of
Muppet A Month.
We hope you enjoyed this one. We know we did because this was actually one of the better movies that we have watched, and I will not complain. So yeah, Muppet a Month, signing out.
We'll see y'all next month.
If we publish these in time.
Yeah, if we publish these in time, which we will.
Yes. Yes.
We will.
We have when this may end.
January, February, March, April, May. So we have a 31st this month. So technically we have
Not enough time.
and we'll see y'all next time.
Yay!
Yay! Editor fade to black. Editor, edit the edit. Editor.
I can't reach it.